Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Hello there, welcome to a brand new week, and of course, welcome to Morning Dew on Dott Television. My name is Henry Uzo, and we are all poised to take you through our normal route, the news from the papers. Of course, we have news update, and then we take you around some conversations. We'll be having segments on entertainment gist, sports, and of course, business updates. Stay with us, because Priska
Hello,
is in the
Mr. Henry.
studio.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Yeah, same here. So good to see you this morning. How was your weekend?
Our weekend was very good. Bless.
That's beautiful. Mine too. So viewers, good morning. It's nice to have you. And this morning, of course, promises to be wonderful today. And we're going to be taking you on a tour around the country. And of course, right here in Delta State, where we'll tell you, bring you up to date concerning what is happening around the state. And success is looking radiant this morning.
You too, Priska. Good
How
to
are you
see
doing?
you.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was okay, and you?
Fantastic.
All right. A very warm welcome to you, Rise and Shine. This is Morning Dew on Dott Television, where we bring you top stories and news headlines making waves across the globe. I am Success Benjamin. Welcome to a Money Making Monday. Your day just got brightened. Priska, I must confess I missed you. Where have you been?
You're saying money making Monday.
Yes.
Where are you going to make your money? In the studio? Yeah?
We'll start making the money from here.
No, maybe we'll give them tips on how to make money.
Oh yeah, okay, that's what she means.
To make this week a better one.
All right. He's talking about money. Everybody's looking for money now, including Dangote. Where has money gone?
Wait, why would Dangote be looking for money?
No, he's looking for money.
He has loads of it.
No, he's looking for more, to establish.
You're talking
more
about somebody who wants,
refineries
by the time he wants to
other
build refinery
industries.
outside Nigeria, he has refinery in Nigeria, he's into all the foods now,
And there's
and he's
something-
not resting.
There's something fantastic he actually did that is in the news this morning,
What's that?
and I'm happy about that. He said he's going to cut down the distribution cost. He's taking away distribution cost. Originally, we have it, taking it away from 4 states, Lagos and some other states in the country.
Distribution
But
of
now-
what? Petroleum
yes,
products?
for the independent marketers. He's
Okay.
taking away the distribution cost.
Okay.
He said he's doing that to alleviate the pains of Nigeria, to reduce the cost of the
That,
pump price.
that will make
Yes.
sense by the time he drops the price of fuel as we buy it from him.
That's it now.
Well, I
Because
hope
when
it
you
gets to
reduce that, distribution cost, the price of petrol will definitely also reduce, because I feel it's one person that has Nigeria at heart, because it feels the pains of the masses
and
as
has
well.
making his own money at heart.
Exactly. Don't forget that.
That's-
part.
That's how we
businessman
want to
anyway.
start this morning. Just stand by. When we come back, business update is with Success. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome to News Updates on Morning Dew. The Delta State Governor, Sheriff Oboriwori, has described the 5-year reign of the Olu of Warri, Ogiyame Atuwase III, as a period of renewed glory, peace, unity, and development for the Ishakiri people, Warri and Delta States. Oboriwori, speaking at the monarch's 5th coronation anniversary, commended him for his leadership and support for the development of the state. The governor also appealed to all ethnic groups in Warri to preserve the peace and unity that have characterized their coexistence, urging them to shun inflammatory statements and divisive tendencies. He disclosed that the Ode Ishekiri Road project, which includes more than 15 bridges, has been completed and will soon be commissioned. The anniversary was attended by Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, Delta State House of Assembly Speaker Imam Motimi Guwo, and other dignitaries. In his remarks, the Olu of Warri attributed to the achievements of his 5-year reign to God and pledged continued commitment to promoting excellence in Nigeria's traditional institution and cultural heritage. Still in Delta State, the Delta State Governor, Sheriff Oboriwori, has approved the appointment of Chief Henry Afure Sakra as the General Manager of the Delta State Social Investment Program with immediate effect. The appointment was contained in a statement by the Secretary to the State Governor, Dr. Kingsley Emo. According to the statement, the appointment is in line with the Delta State Social Investment Program Law 2025, which focuses on reducing poverty, hunger, and social deprivation across the states. The program is also designed to improve the socio-economic well-being of Deltans, especially at the grassroots, through targeted social intervention and poverty alleviation initiatives. The appointment is expected to strengthen the program's institutional framework and promote greater social inclusion under the more agenda of the Oboriwori administration. Now the All Progressive Congress, APC, has constituted its Presidential Campaign Council for the 2027 elections, with former Zamfara State Governor Senator Abdulaziz Yari appointed Director General. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Vice President Kachim Shatima will serve as Chairman and Vice Chairman of the Council, while APC National Chairman Professor Natawe Yewada will serve as Deputy Chairman. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has been appointed Secretary, while APC National Secretary Senator Ajibola Bashiru will serve as Assistant Secretary. Other key appointments include Senator President Goswi Akpabio and House Speaker Tajundi Abbas as Deputy Directors General for the South and North, respectively. The council also includes several party leaders and officials across various directorates, including media, legal, mobilization, and election planning. President Tinubu charged members to work for the party's victory in the 2027 presidential election and urged them to highlight the administration's achievements during the campaign. Travelers and motorists plying the Benin, Asaba, and Benin Warri roads are lamenting the deplorable condition of the highways, which has caused prolonged delays, vehicles breakdowns, and traffic congestion. The Benin Supply Warri route, a major link between the south, and other parts of the country, has suffered years of deterioration. Some journeys that should take about an hour can now stretch to several hours or even an entire day. Motorists say the situation worsens when heavy-duty vehicles break down or get trapped in potholes, creating long queues and, in some cases, prolonged gridlock. The poor condition of the roads has also raised concerns about rising transport costs, vehicle damage, and the safety of stranded travelers. Motorists are therefore calling for urgent government intervention, stressing that the strategic roads serve as major routes for the movement of people and goods between Lagos, Edo, Delta, and the eastern parts of Nigeria.
Imagine federal road for that matter. Watch. See where water they reach me for federal road. See where water they reach me. For federal road for that matter. Federal road, look at, watch. If these goods now, when they say now 4 years, what did I go do? Just video the video, they made us swear that they follow. Video all these trucks, make they see, make federal government they say, this is so productive. What?
Not put your head this side.
You don't sing for grand.
In lock. In lock. You not broken. You not broken. On top of the dashboard. On top of the dashboard. Check the other seat. Check. Now where you? Go check this side. This guy will take this side.
Now, wow. Just imagine what is going on here.
And lastly, in Delta State, the Delta State Governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oboriwori, has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to supporting genuine farmers and private investors through infrastructure, improved power supply, and other incentives. The governor stated this during an inspection of Thatcher farms in Okoloho, Okbe local government area, and Amity Global Farms and Monroe Livestock Farms in Horewan, Uye. Oboriwori said government support would focus on creating an enabling environment rather than direct funding. He disclosed that a 33 kilovolt power project had been awarded to improve electricity supply, while road projects would enhance access to farms and markets. The governor also promised an access road linking the Warri Sapele Expressway to the community hosting Amity Global Farms. He encouraged residents to embrace agriculture, saying it would boost food security, create jobs, and help reduce crime. This is where we wrap it for news updates on Morning Dew. Stay with us when we return after this break. Don't go away.
Wake up with us every morning.
We bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Hello there, welcome back. And of course, we are going straight to the headlines in the papers, starting with Daily Trusts. On Daily Trust, we have concerns over inclusion of Beta Edu, others in Tinubu's campaign council. Phone technician loses 2 wives, children to fire. Fuel subsidy will reverse gains, minister. New phantom agency courts, SGF governors. And then, of course, we have many worshippers abducted from Niger Mosque during Jumat prayer. And then, how my husband, 2 children died after eating amala. Widow is the one speaking. And of course, NDLE arrests 101-year-old woman for allegedly selling drug. All that on the Daily Trusts.
And this morning we'll move on to the Nigerian Tribune, and we have that bold the headline, ADC leaders in battle of wits. And top of the headline, we have bandits kidnap Kwara traditional ruler. And more headlines coming in, motorists groan, trucks trapped as Oye-Ekiti in Lukpeju, Kaba Road collapses. And we have more headlines writing down there from the major headline, NDLE arrests 101-year-old woman for drug. Onayekon Mba Osigwe orders to speak at NGE 2025 conference in Enugu. And finally, article subsidy removal proposal, mere election season declaration. And that's coming from the APC national chairman. And that's some of what you can take from the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
All right, moving over to the Daily Times this morning, we have here above the masthead, PDP rejects Eboyi. Council pulls threatens legal action. Dangote refinery cuts haulage costs, expands free fuel delivery to 4 states. Another topical story here, Tinubu hails Bergman's $1 billion deal to drive AFCTA custom modernization. President praises Salah Ahmadu on 20-year concession with AFCTA Secretariat. Now we have here, after 16 years, Nigeria is a funny country. Wambweze slams ICPC over fake agency claim. And that's all for the Daily Times.
Go ahead.
The Guardian.
Moving to the Guardian newspaper, we have a bold headline there. 14 years after Orosoye report, bloated agencies cost Nigeria 1 trillion naira in 2026. And some of the headlines trailing the top, mixed reactions trail APC's campaign cancel membership. Governors now paying wages with devalued naira coming from Afenifere. Democracy doesn't survive on polls alone. Where tells Nigerian lawyers. Additional headlines still coming in from the Guardian newspaper. Presidency, Hashim Showore orders pick holes in Atiku's subsidy U-turn. And another headline coming from Osun State, Osun government alleges fresh plot to attack local governments and motor parks. Additional headline, Nigeria turns to banks for $20.5 billion to expand renewable electricity. And of course, we have that sad headline coming from the entertainment industry. Actor Ogogo, that's Taiwo Hassan, for burial today as Ugo celebrates legacy. That's so much you can take from the Guardian newspaper.
Over now to The Nation. And on The Nation, we have quite a flurry of headlines. First, banks raise card spending limits abroad. 101-year-old woman arrested for selling drugs. 23.6% paternity test returned negative. APC will continue to keep campaign promises, says Iyari. And under the masthead, we have CBN tightening scrutiny of banks' asset quality. Top banks delay submission of HI results. And then dangers of Atiku subsidy return proposal by federal government. That's all we can take on. Okay, there's another one. Learn to accept defeat, where urges politicians. That's all we can take on the Nation.
Now bringing us to the Punch, we have here, Governor faces questions as payout hits 47 trillion naira. Now the riders below post-subsidy windfall, PAC revenue hits 47 trillion in 3 years, surpasses previous 6-year total. States, local governments get bigger FAC. Shares governor face hits as subsidy removal debate resurfaces. Again, FG, APC tackle Atiku over petrol subsidy return call. Now above the masthead, we have tributes as Nollywood Ogun mourns Ogogo at 66. 31 winners face payment deadline. Another story making headline here, how vote buyers breached EFCC, ICPC, INEC defenses. Now down here, NDLA arrests 101-year-old cannabis dealer daughter in Ogun. Pensioners threaten mass protest. Umba Oneikon headline, NGA debate on election disinformation. And that's all for the Punch.
And now we come back home to Delta State from the Daily Sun. This morning we have a bold headline there coming from Delta State. Said Delta dismisses Omo Agege's assassination claims, accuses him of seeking cheap media attention. FG targets digital independence, spends 3.8 trillion naira on information technology. And a bold headline, Tinubu Atiku Obi differ on economy, security, and education. And we have some riders, bear prices may rise as brewers battle 113 billion naira HI tax bill, higher energy costs. Another one says 2027 campaign, Kawu urges Yari-led APC council to acknowledge Nigeria's hardship. And we have a final one there, 424 billion naira social welfare allocation from 20.4 trillion naira windfall, troubling, coming from experts. And that's what you can take from the Daily Sun.
Over now to this day. On this day, we have, ahead of additional re-election, Nigeria doubles Africa Development Bank voting rights. Below the masthead, we have Tambuwal consults Obasanjo Mark Danjuma over 2023 presidency. Then DSS loses 2 operatives in clash with IPOB. That's all we can. Okay, ASU, Rice FG, seeks resumption of negotiations. All that on this day.
And moving to the Vanguard newspaper this morning, Onoyeko Mba Osigwe Yadudu orders to speak at NG Confab. Okay, that seemed to be a headline that is trailing across board. And on insecurity issues, another headline, End This Madness Once and for All. Obi task federal government. And we have the bold headline, Nigeria's oil output drops by 20.8% in 10 years. And of course, that is followed by the rider, Nigeria's influence within OPEC declines. We are committed to optimizing output renaissance coming from any. And that's much you can take from the Vanguard newspaper.
Now bringing us to our dear Empire newspaper. Otuaro sends 150 more Niger Delta postgraduate scholars to UK varsities. Now the writers down here credit Tinubu's peace agenda for scholarship, urges South to vote massively for president in 2027. And above here we have Chidi reports allegation against Desopodec 277.73 billion naira claimed by Swill Malva lacks legal and accounting basis. And that's all for the Empire newspaper.
Finally, on the paper review this morning on headlines, we have this one from Business Day. Nigeria's subsidy debate pits cheaper petrol against reforms. Okay, against reform gains. That's all we have on the headlines today. When we come back, we shall be looking at some of them in terms of analysis. Don't go away. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Good morning and welcome to Today in History on Dott TV, where we throw back to important events and personalities connected to this day in previous years. August 24th has witnessed notable moments that shaped Nigeria's political, cultural, sporting, security, and international history. On this day in 1937, businessman, philanthropist, and politician MKO Abiola was born in Abeokuta, Ogun State. He later became the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party SDP in the annulled June 12, 1993 election. On this day in 1956, Muhammadu Saudu Abubakar III, the Sultan of Sokoto, was born. He later became the 20th Sultan of Sokoto in 2006. Also in 1963, legendary Nigerian goalkeeper Peter Rufai was born in Lagos. He represented Nigeria at the 1994 and 1998 FIFA World Cups and helped the Super Eagles win the 1994 African Cup of Nations AFCON. In 1967, politician Nyesom Ezonwo-Wike was born in Rivers State. He later served as governor of Rivers State from 2015 to 2023 and is currently the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Also in 1994, the military government of General Sani Abacha promulgated controversial decrees that placed its actions beyond legal challenge in the court during the political crisis following the annulment of the June 12, 1993 election. On the international scene, August 24, 1949 marked the entry into force of the North Atlantic Treaty, establishing NATO's Collective Defense Alliance. Also on this day in 1991, Ukraine declared independence from the Soviet Union, a major event in the collapse of the Soviet Union. And in 2006, the International Astronomical Union reclassified Pluto as a dwarf planet, ending its official status as one of the solar system's 9 planets. Interestingly, August 24th connects generations of Nigerian history and significant turning point in world history. Those are some of the moments and personalities that made August 24th significant in Nigerian and world history. I am Peace Nwokburu. Thanks for watching.
Wake up with us every morning.
We bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. And of course, Godfrey Barker is in the studio. We want to look at the headlines the way they came. There are so many of them, but most of them are surrounding the same issues.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you so
Welcome,
much.
Mr.
Mr.
Obaka.
Barker, it's nice to have you. Good morning.
It's nice to be in the midst of these pretty ladies.
All right now. Okay, I think we're going to reverse rules. You'll be working with them. Let me look for something else to do. All right. Now the campaigns have started. They are inaugurating their campaign stuff, and some have already started campaigning. The issue right now is Atiku telling Nigerians that if elected, he was going to come back to subsidy, but at least he was able to define it. But a lot of people are now shouting at that proposition by Atiku. What's your take? The return of subsidy in any way?
Yes, it's good that the campaigns are starting on this note. Our expectation is that the campaigns should be issue-based.
Yeah.
The various contenders should be able to tell us what they can do differently to tame issues of insecurity, what they can do differently with respect to subsidy removal. We do understand. I think we should be followed closely. You understand. His position is not entirely against subsidy as it were.
Yeah.
He supported subsidy removal before. But I want to think that he is not comfortable with the way and manner subsidy removal has been implemented by the Tinubu administration.
Okay.
Follow Atiku closely. His position is that the federal government under Tinubu is still involved in subsidy.
To a level.
Yeah, to a level, but it's subsidizing the oil investors.
Okay.
So it's like robbing the poor to further enrich the already rich.
Okay.
And that is what he is. I want to expect that. My reasoning is this, that his campaign strategy borders around connecting with the poor, you know. And one of his illustrations is that the minimum wage now is about 70,000 thereabout, Then, if we have a liter of fuel selling for 1,300, and you take in your car as an end user to fill your car of about, maybe 100 liters.
No, 70 liters.
70 liters. So you end up spending that 130,000 to fill your vehicle of about 100 liters.
Okay.
And that's for one day. That may not last your family for 1 week.
Yeah.
Bring that down to, that is about twice the minimum wage of You have not talked about how the person will feed,
Feed.
pay rent, and other
School fees.
So he is trying to connect with the end users. And he is saying that subsidy removal 3 years on now has further impoverished Nigerians. But that the government of Tinubu is still subsidizing the importers, is still subsidizing the key oil players at the upstream, middle stream. Why now downstream end users?
Which are the people?
Which are the people? Okay. And so a policy that is disconnecting with the people, there is nothing wrong in having a rethink. That is what Atiku is trying to bring up to the public. And how it resonates with the people is left to be seen. But for the Tinubu administration, they are not comfortable with it. When it hurts, they are saying that it will reverse the gains of the reform, because the reform is premised on the subsidy removal. Now, 3 years on now, what are the gains of that reform? The industries are not back. What the gains, the saving, where have you plugged it in? So those are the questions that Nigerians are beginning to ask. And we demand an answer so that the debate, the conversation can be further enriched, so that at the end of the day, people will be able on their own to now decipher, think, and make a choice with respect to, do they want this reform to continue along this trajectory, or do they want something amended? That's the beauty of a democracy, presenting to you alternatives for people to choose.
Mr. Abubakar, I want us to look at it from the aspect of APC is crying foul now, that they feel that Atiku Abubakar is just doing it as cheap attention to win the election, something to, appeal to the hearts or the emotions or feelings of Nigerians. Do you see it the same way?
Well, we are
we're in an election.
We are in an election year. And so narratives will pander towards emotionality, sentiments, and all that. But of course, you see that the way virtually every key person in APC is responding to that, shows that it did touch them where it matters most.
Exactly.
We should expect that issues should be met with issues. Issues should generate explanation. 3 years on now, what you gained from subsidy,
table it.
Where have you plugged it into? How has it benefited the economy?
And the people.
You understand? In some other climes, you tax the rich in order to subsidize livelihood for the poor. But we tend to have had a reverse in our setting, where the poor are being taxed
to enrich the rich.
To enrich the rich. And there is something paradoxical about that. There is some form of anomaly, which people are free to debate over. Interestingly, when they had a peace accord, the two of them didn't come. Atiku wasn't there.
Yes.
The president was holding a meeting in his office, a post-mortem of Osun election. He didn't come to sign this peace accord. There might also be a debate tomorrow, possibly here at Dott television.
And
some of them may not come. You understand? So when do you take the people seriously?
Now,
and when do you take mandate seriously?
Let me look at it from this angle. In every climb, removal of subsidy is not a problem, but how you manage the resources that would have been subsidy to make life easier for the people. One of the easiest way out is to subsidize transportation. In other climes, you have alternative transportation. The buses are provided for interstate, intracity transportation.
Or probably switch to CNG.
Yes. The trains are built and then, of course, made available intercity. There's what they call a tube. It's like a train, but a surface train.
Mass transit.
Yeah, mass transit.
Some form of mass transit.
Yeah. Now, none of these were done.
Neither also, even before you land in your question, neither also did the national refineries get attention.
Yeah. Now,
they have not been revived.
Now, so
You know,
At the
all
end of
we
the-
are being told is that more money is now going to the states and the local government. How has that translated
to
into
easy life.
development?
But what I'm talking
Go
about
and
is
study the fact,
what I'm
the
talking about
sharing
now.
formula.
Yes.
You see, more money goes to the state.
I agree
How
with you.
has it trickled down?
I agree with you,
for
but
improved living
this,
for you and
this way
I?
I'm coming so that we can shed more light on them.
Okay.
We find that we are withdrawing subsidy, which is supposed to mean more money available to government
Yes.
to operate. But we are borrowing. Now, the borrowing and the subsidy, where are we in all of this? To really make a point to Nigerians that the subsidy was for our own good.
That's where Nigerians need to, at this point in time, look critically at the economic policy of the present government. More money available to the government coffers, you know, and more higher level of indebtedness. Why? Because the infrastructure, we are not developing them. But don't forget, the more you borrow, the more you spend money, not to pay the debt, but the more you spend money to service the debt.
Yeah.
So federal government is spending so much in debt servicing and just managing to pay wages and salaries. And none of this is a productive venture. It's good to pay
Salaries, of course.
salaries, but there are people who are not within the salary catch net. So what happens to them? How do you cushion life for them? And now, by the time you also say you are spending such a humongous amount to service the debt, you are not paying the debt. Don't forget that we had an administration in this same country that brought the debt in the nation's indebtedness to a zero level. A combination of the management astuteness of President Obasanjo and Dr. Mrs. Okonjo-Iweala. And we brought it down to zero so that the governments that are coming over should be able to leverage on that and build the
standard economy.
But what are we seeing today? Not even the two administrations after this will be able to zero down on the debt burden that is currently existing. That is not wisdom in economic management and public finance.
Okay, I have a question. Now Atiku is coming out to talk about fuel subsidy and blaming the present government for what has this subsidy removal funds.
The mode and the manner of the removal.
The removal. Now we could also see that Atiku was in power before now as a vice president of this same country.
He was a number two.
Yes, a number two. So and during those times, it subsidized some of the commercial economic system of the states, the country. We have the steel, aluminium. We have some of the state-owned cement companies, and
you
even
are
the
talking
power
of privatization.
sector.
Privatization.
Yes, it privatized them, and till now, most especially the steel companies, do they survive? They didn't survive. And now it's coming back again. Do you think this time around it will do better and have a chance of becoming the president?
Yeah, everybody has a history. Our duty here is to x-ray some of these things for people out there to possibly buy in. That may be a kind of political baggage that he has, the role he played in the privatization exercise. You understand. Don't also forget that the incumbent president, America has up to August 28 to release his file, close to 30-year file with respect to involvement in, something that one might not mention.
It's not our business to do that.
It's not our business to.
There are so many bodies that should be able to look into that.
Exactly.
And this man has scaled through. He has scaled through scrutiny to become governor, to become president. So
no.
why are we going back
but
to
the court now, FBI and the court now have 28th of August to make that public. So much so that very high-ranking members of the political party are saying that if you release it now, it is not going to be to hurt just the president. It's going to hurt Nigeria and Africa. The point remains that we all have our past.
Mm.
But if your past is not in tandem with your present, then there's something dangerous about it.
No,
I think that people have
let's
the
not
chance
go
to
let's
do
not go
better
there.
this
That past is
time.
so expired. What I mean by so expired is the fact that this same man, with all those inconsistencies, have been governor for 8 years.
Yes.
Now he has been president for 4 years
For
running
4
now.
years, yeah.
So what are you bringing up again? When the bodies, the agencies that should be able to say, no, this man does not qualify, have passed him many times over. So
Okay.
let's not go there. Let's come to issues.
Okay.
2 issues should dominate campaigns.
Yes.
And I think anybody who does not deal with those issues is not serious with us. One of them is the issue of our petroleum industry.
Yeah.
The second one is the issue of power. Now, if
And
these
management of our security.
and security.
Security
These
is
are the
key.
three
Very
key
important.
issues
Key.
that should dominate debate or campaign
Yeah.
by all these our gladiators. So, how much do you think they are willing to address these issues? Light, that's power, security, and then of course our refineries that are not working.
Yes, that's why we should follow closely with what they are bringing to the table differently. We have a president who did say that he did promise he was going to fix the power, and that if he doesn't succeed in that direction, that should he come back for a re-election, that we should vote him out.
No, we should not vote for him.
We shouldn't vote for him, And Nigerians should now be in a position as to what extent has the power been fixed. Even the presidency itself, Aso Rock, had to get out of the national grid. Yes, maybe we are talking of diversification.
That's leading by no example.
Okay, but now that you opt out of the national grid because it's collapsing on a daily basis. To what extent, what have you done? What steps have been taken to fix it? Because it's not everybody that can afford to get out like that. Solar is a kind of alternative power supply, but there is a limit to which it can carry, especially with respect to factories,
and affordability
industrialization.
too, for
and
Nigerians.
not everybody can afford it. You understand? So why the world is thinking of power and diversification for economy to grow and be sustainable, we find a situation where we've been faltering with it. We are not talking of 3 months. We are talking of 3 years running
Government.
now. What impact have we been able to create? And so these are some of the issues that the other contenders should be able to say, I should be able to do this thing differently.
Okay.
So that Nigerians will look at the template. What do you say you can do differently? And be able to also
And how do you want to do it?
interrogate your how.
Okay.
It's not just about your what, because talk is cheap, but your how. What is your template to achieving it? And what timeline? And those are the things that we expect that Nigerians should be able to.
Picking on one of the issues that Bishop raised, he talked about energy, he talked about the petroleum industry, and then we talked about insecurity, So I want us to focus on issue of insecurity. So we have it in the headlines this morning where the NDC candidates, presidential candidates, Peter Obi, is coming out to plead with governments, with the federal government, do not let us turn Nigeria into a killing field. And of course, he's saying that based on the series of killings, slaughters, and kidnappings and mass abductions that we've had trailing from the beginning of last week till the weekend. We saw the attack in Borno.
Even Niger State, we reported that one. Worshippers from mosque.
Immediately after they rounded up with the worship on Friday, the Jumat service on Friday, and that's they just rounded them up and then took some away while they killed some. So do you see any of this, like Bishop said, if I was to borrow his term, gladiators, do you see them really sincerely doing something about the insecurity issues in Nigeria? If they had
I think if I still remember accurately, Obi's words came in this format that Nigeria is not officially at war.
Exactly.
Yet we are counting the bodies. People are dying on a daily basis, and that government should be more decisive. Government should be front.
And he also talked about governments being proactive, not
Yeah.
reactive, not counting the bodies and looking for the offenders, but protecting the citizens.
Exactly. The issue of security, better securing our nation, is something that it's not just about a local thing; it's a regional thing, and a number of the militants have had their way from
Other countries.
Neighboring
Libya, Mauritania, and coming in Chad. So it's a regional thing. But what is slightly disturbing is that Nigeria is losing its voice at the continental level. Even one of the reports said it, even in OPEC.
It's tarnishing our image.
We are losing
Seriously.
our relevance.
Yeah.
And even in ECOWAS, we are also losing our voice and relevance. Why? Because there's an African parlance that says your dance, or in some cases your dressing, starts fitting you at home.
Yeah.
I'm sure that before Bishop left his house today, the wife looked at him and admired his dressing. But when your dance does not fit you at home, then when you go out there is a problem. We need to put our houses in order. I am pained when I remember that this same situation of instigated and unmitigated insecurity was used against Jonathan. You understand? And when that was done, I remember somebody having a screaming headline in Punch: Jonathan underestimated me. You understand? What you thought you were using for a regime change, now, today, the issue of kidnapping
has overwhelmed you.
You understand? So there are things you don't play politics with. If you are a true patriot and a nationalist, you don't play politics with issue of hunger. They call it stomach infrastructure, and the issue of insecurity. Because if you throw a
stone in the marketplace,
you do not know who it will hit. And we have a way of weaponizing even our issues of our election. Look at what happened in Oshu. Countdown to the election, there were 30 reported cases, related deaths that were related to election. By the time we arm some persons to go and do this over election, then it's easy to arm them.
Yeah.
Let them go achieve the target. At the end of the election, you can't disarm them. You can't disarm them. And so they are used to a particular lifestyle with the gun, and they go ahead. And that is why we have a number of guns here and there, sophisticated ones that cannot be accounted for. And for as long as you have that, then you find out that you get to a situation that is sad enough that they are dictating the pace. And the nation's security architecture is but
seriously challenged,
reacting to it, instead of being
proactive
and having the non-state actors react to their situation. So that's the sad situation we have before us. But it now takes a good leadership example at the top, for other persons to key in. But by the time you are at the top with a whole number of leadership albatross and baggages, then of course people just think that everything is fair, But everything is not fair, because everything that you may assume to be fair will also have their consequences, and some of their consequences are too enormous for society to bear.
All right, as we begin to trail down on paper review for this morning, we can't leave this off. 101-year-old woman. Because most of the time when we talk, we tend to talk down on the youth. Gen Zs, they do this. They are not of the cheap. We are made of discipline, control, morality. Now, a 101-year-old woman selling drugs to children. What does that tell of our generation?
Well, perhaps she has been in it all through her life.
Yes.
That's a narrative. Okay. It's also possible that she is being used. We see people out there who are maybe crippled, and people are using them to hide the gun
Okay.
with which they are
Operating.
operating. You know, so it's either that she's
But you
the
allow
one
yourself to be
victimizing.
used.
It's either that she's the one victimizing the society, or
Okay.
that she's a victim of society.
If I may come in, Mr. Abaka, if she said that she was not doing this before, she started this some months ago when her shop, her mega shop where she sells things, got razed down by fire.
That makes
Do
her
you know
a
the-
victim.
do you know the funny
That makes her
answer?
a victim
Do you
of
know the
society.
funny So
she's
But
not
why should the-
victimizing-
but why should the drug option be the available option?
Now, Mr. Baka, the funny angle is this. She said her daughter, who is based in Lagos, is her supplier. So
Can
her
you
daughter
imagine?
from Lagos supplies
Supplies
her in Ogun State, and then she distributes for livelihood. Now, when she was arrested, the DG of NDLEA, retired General Buba Marwa, said, okay, because considering her advanced age, they can't really punish her much or do much, but she should be put into rehabilitation and all of that. But then they went ahead to Lagos and arrested her daughter.
Definitely.
They have to.
Now, it seems it has turned to a family business. I mean, drug pushing.
Yes, the issue of drug is not just an epidemic. It's getting to the level of a pandemic. That rehabs are almost getting filled everywhere. But again, we expect a situation where it should be tackled both at the faith-based organizations, the family structures should come to give it the kind of attention that is required. It's heart-rending that a woman of that age could be used
to push drugs.
I don't know why you are saying being used now. The woman gave a reason why she's doing it. So we should question why she has chosen that as an option.
People around her would have counseled her on a better way. But if the daughter says, "Ma'am, there are things I can be bringing to you
that will spend money for you,"
not suspect. So that then she is more of a victim than somebody who is victimizing the society.
Well, that is left for others to judge. Me, I don't think a 101-year-old woman has any business selling cannabis.
Bishop, we have something that looks like a good news that you're skipping over.
What's that?
The Dangote refinery trying to reduce the cost.
Okay, haulage cost.
Yes,
okay, time. Just 1 minute.
Cost.
Speak to that.
To reduce the pump price.
Is wanted to distribute the products free of charge, as it were.
For the independent marketers.
Yes.
But
So
for 4 states, he said.
that.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Good morning and welcome to Today in History on Dott TV, where we throw back to important events and personalities connected to this day in previous years. August 24th has witnessed notable moments that shaped Nigeria's political, cultural, sporting, security, and international history. On this day in 1937, businessman, philanthropist, and politician MKO Abiola was born in Abeokuta, Ogun State. He later became the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, in the annulled June 12, 1993 election. On this day in 1956, Muhammadu Sa'udu Abubakar III, the Sultan of Sokoto, was born. He later became the 20th Sultan of Sokoto in 2006. Also in 1963, legendary Nigerian goalkeeper Peter Rufai was born in Lagos. He represented Nigeria at the 1994 and 1998 FIFA World Cup and helped the Super Eagles win the 1994 African Cup of Nations AFCON. In 1967, politician Nyesom Ezenwo-Wike was born in Rivers State. He later served as governor of Rivers State from 2015 to 2023 and is currently the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Also in 1994, the military government of General Sani Abacha promulgated controversial decrees that placed its actions beyond legal challenge in the court during the political crisis following the annulment of the June 12, 1993 election. On the international scene, August 24, 1949 marked the entry into force of the North Atlantic Treaty, establishing NATO's Collective Defense Alliance. Also on this day in 1991, Ukraine declared independence from the Soviet Union, a major event in the collapse of the Soviet Union. And in 2006, the International Astronomical Union reclassified Pluto as a dwarf planet, ending its official status as one of the solar system's 9 planets. Interestingly, August 24th connects generations of Nigerian history and significant turning points in world history. Those are some of the moments and personalities that made August 24th significant in Nigerian and world history. I am Peace Nwokburu. Thanks for watching.
From Harrison. That is a massive world record. Martinelli goes, boys, out of his goal. Martinelli! This will be 3 for
Yes, welcome back. And of course, if you're a lover of sports, especially football, the weekend was coming up with so many upsets. And that's how we're going to enter into sports segment this morning. Anthony Uche is already in the studio.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Good
very
morning,
much.
Anthony.
Good morning, Tony. Welcome.
Well, as you said, the weekend for a lot of football fans, especially, is the return of the Premier League. So it was a big weekend, and it came with a lot of results: the good, the bad, and the ones in between. And yeah, of course, we start off with the champions who played on Friday night. Arsenal. They defeated Coventry, newly promoted Coventry, coached by Frank Lampard, Chelsea legend, amongst others. They defeated them by 3-0, and they looked in charge. Mikel Arteta's men looked in charge from start to finish. And in a game where, we saw them a couple of weeks ago as well against Manchester City in the Community Shield, they beat Manchester City by 3-0. They repeated the same scoreline on Friday night. And you don't decide, like I said here on Saturday when we were doing the sports lane, you don't decide who wins the league or who gets relegated after just one game. There are 37 more games to go. But from what I saw 2 Sundays ago and on Friday, it will be a very, very, very Herculean task to take that trophy off Arsenal, because for a variety of reasons, but most importantly, the fact that they have a very deep squad, they have a very good squad, and then they have a manager who is the longest serving manager in the Premier League now, 7 years. So that continuity, that consistency, I think will bode well for Arsenal going forward. And then, of course, early kickoff Saturday, Manchester United. New season, a lot of people will say same old United. But like I said about the Arsenal game as well, you don't determine where your United will finish following a 2-0 loss in the opening game against Hull City at the MK Stadium. Yeah, newly promoted team. One thing you always do in the first weekend of the Premier League, you look at a lot of the newly promoted sides. You look at a lot of the standard Premier League side. Yes, there's always a difference in attitude. Except for the game against, for the Coventry game against Arsenal. Maybe they went there with the mindset that, it's the winners, the champions. They're just going to brush us aside and then we'll focus on the games we can actually win. But when you saw the way Hull City played against United on Saturday, the 12:30, they looked the more serious team. They looked really out for the game. They were more physical. They were more dominant. And from set pieces, they punished United on several occasions. Yes, and the 2 goals they scored came from centre-backs, from set pieces as well. And if you just look at that game, you'd understand that one team looked like they needed it the most, and the other team was the team who was already comfortable in the Premier League, and things they would just roll up to a game and they win it. But it wasn't to be. For Michael Carrick's men, like I said, there's still a long way to go. They subsequently have completed the signing of Carlos Baleba, who is also going to reinforce the midfield. And then I think they need a few more additions in defense, especially at fullbacks, and maybe one more centre back, and they should be fine. It's just the opening game of the weekend, an away game against a very, very physical side. And then, of course, subsequent results that followed with the Saturday evening, most notably Brentford at the GT Community Stadium trashed Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur have spent over £300 million in this summer. They trashed
On
them
recruitment.
by 3-0, all in the the first half.
Almost in the first half.
2 in the first half and then 1 after half time. And Tottenham looked way off it. But Deserby, the coach of Tottenham, came out to say after the game that we are not a team yet. Well, I don't know how long it's going to take them to become a team, but they have to become a team as quickly as possible because the Premier League is unrelenting and unforgiving. And then a few other results there in a game that was marked by a fantastic tribute to the late, great Kevin Keegan, who coached and played for both Liverpool and Newcastle United. The game ended in what could be seen as an honourable fashion because this was the kind of game that Keegan would also oversee between Liverpool and Newcastle. 2-2, lots of goals, lots of drama, and most importantly, a last gasp penalty awarded to Liverpool to level the tie. Fandoni and last man, they get away with the point, honestly, because I think Newcastle United deserved to win that game. Yeah.
3 points.
But they got away with it. And then, of course, over to Spain, we move where Real Madrid and Jose Mourinho, he made his return to Real Madrid. We talked about the last gasp, equalizer for Liverpool. This was a last gasp win for Real Madrid in the 90th minute of the game when Carlos SP scored to make sure that Jose Mourinho's return to La Liga and to Real Madrid started off on a winning note against Espanyol as the RCDE Stadium, and a very cagey game, as you can see on the image. They're very tough game. Madrid took the lead early in the first half by Jude Bellingham heading a goal, heading a ball into the back of the net, but Espanyol, the host, equalized, and after that it was all stalemates. The two teams are trying to get onto each other, and then in the last minute of the game, basically, Carlos SP, who was signed to do that kind of job where you need a goal, and the Mbappes of this world are not cutting it. You bring in a very strong, very physical, very tall striker, and that was what he did. Mbappe created the goal, and he finished it off for Mourinho. And then, of course, the other team who a lot of people would think are in the title race, because I think it's a 2-horse title race in Spain. And the other team that makes up that 2-horse title race, Barcelona, started off their title defense fantastically. 5-0, they trust Elche away from home. A brace for that man on your screen right there, Rafinha, and then another brace for Fermin Lopez. And Karim Adeyemi scored on his La Liga debut as well to run off a fantastic victory for Hansi Flick and his men. Well, they will take some beating. Just like Arsenal in the English Premier League, these defending champions, which is Barcelona in La Liga, they will take some beating to take something away from them. And then, of course, the other major game that happened over the weekend that rounded off the two teams as well in the top 4 last season, Villarreal traveled to the Metropolitano to play against Atletico Madrid. It finished in a fitting 2-2 draw. But the game was overshadowed really by, Julian Alvarez and the reaction of the Atletico de Madrid fans to him being substituted at the end of the game. And for Alvarez, if people who do not know, he made it obvious at the World Cup that he wanted to leave Atletico de Madrid, and a lot of Atletico fans have not taken that in good fashion or in good faith. And they made when the starting lineup was, there's a tradition in football, before the game kicks off, the team sheet is read out and a lot of people, respond to whenever a player's name is mentioned. When his own name was mentioned, when the PA system was reading out the squad, he was met with a huge booing for his own fans to turn on him and boo him at that time. And then when the game finished, he walked straight down the tunnel while his teammates and the coach were going to applaud the fans for coming to see the game. So there's obviously something in the water when it concerns Atletico Madrid and Julian Alvarez. They have barely a week and a half really to sort anything out, because come 1st of September, he will either stay or he must have left the club as well at that time. And finally, we round off with some tennis, where Coco Gauff and Arthur Fils won the Cincinnati Open for the women and the men respectively. For Arthur Fils, it was his first ever, yes, the Frenchman right there on the screen, was his first ever ATP Masters 1000 trophy, and that he won against American Francis Tiafoe. And then, of course, in the women's game, Coco Gauff right there on your screen defeated her compatriots, Jessica Pegula, in straight sets, 2-love, to win her second after she won the same trophy in 2023. Yes, 3 years behind, and she's back now to win it again. So these two athletes, they prepared perfectly, really, if you ask me, for the US Open that will kick off in less than a week. And there's no better way to go into a US Open than winning the other trophy that was on offer before the US Open itself. Okay. So that was the weekend, really, as it happened in the world of sports.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony. Let's look at the first game of Real Madrid.
Yes.
When Jose Mourinho came back,
there
was a lot of applause, and people thought that the first game was going to be Now, most people saw that game, thought that they were neither here nor there.
Yeah.
They didn't play
It was
well.
an underwhelming
And already, asking what is Mourinho going to bring to the table this time.
Well, when he returned, yes, like you said, there was a bit of relief amongst the Madridistas because then, this is the coach, especially if you remember the circumstances under which the last manager, Xabi Alonso was sacked and then
Yes.
Alvaro Arbeloa was treated. There was a lot of player power in the squad. And so when Mourinho returned, it was not necessarily from the footballing side, it was more from the disciplinary side because then a coach who would not take any nonsense from any player is returning to basically take over a dressing room where the captain was knocked out by another player because two players were fighting in the dressing room. The coach, Alvaro Arbeloa, was being called a cone by the players. A lot of players at the time said they were not even willing to talk to him.
I think he was too young to coach.
Yes, a lot of disrespect, really. A lot of player power was on display at the time when he was appointed. So I think from that disciplinary aspect, a lot of people were happy that a disciplinarian and a no-nonsense man is coming into the dressing room. From the playing side, we always knew, trying to figure in, and then when the signings were made, trying to put all of those players in the same starting lineup, it was never going to be a smooth ride. This victory for Madrid, perhaps come the end of the season, will be one that they look back on and say it was a very vital victory. Because when you look at it, to win when you're not necessarily on key. I mean, I saw Vinicius Jr. on Saturday, he was unrecognizably bad. I saw Kylian Mbappe, he looks a pace or two off it. It was not as crisp as he used to be on the ball. And then even the new signing, Yan Diamande, yes, although it was just a cameo of about 20 minutes, he didn't really impress me a lot. Perhaps only Jude Bellingham, Bernardo Silva, and Ibrahima Konate at the defense was the only three players I could say, yes, they actually had a good game to start the season. So when the team is not in sync yet, they're not playing well, but they still find a way to win, then you can look back and say, perhaps it is a positive. Yes, perhaps there is a positive, but they have to get better subsequently, and they'll be in action on Wednesday because there's no time really. Remember, they should have played this game 2 weeks last week, but because of the number of players who were at the World Cup, La Liga said they should rest and then kick it off a week later. So the game that they are going to take, the game that will stabilize the calendar for them, will come up at the Santiago Bernabeu against Real Sociedad on Wednesday, and then because of the presence of the fans playing at home and then having just played this weekend, I think the performance will be a lot better come Wednesday.
Yes, talking about the World Cup, I sympathize with the footballers, especially those who were at the World Cup.
To the final.
It just ended. You just ended your season. You're in camp for World Cup. You went for a strong competition and came back almost immediately to start playing for your club. Did you notice some rustiness about some players based on the fact that the legs could be tired?
Not necessarily rustiness, but then players were
tired legs.
Yes, 75 minutes, 80 minutes. A lot of people were okay. Especially the ones, like I said, who got to the semis and the ones who were there for the last week.
Yes,
or for the last week of the tournament. That means they basically had a 3-week break. Got back with the team for preseason, and here you go. The season has already started. So
they didn't have enough
break. Yes,
enough
exactly. So that definitely affected them. But hey, they are footballers. They get paid well, and they are not supposed to complain
earning their
about
money.
Yes, they're not
just
supposed,
like
especially the ones who play at the top end.
You don't get tired of talking. Anthony, thank you.
Well.
Thank you for coming on the program. Success and Priska will still be here doing our thing. Thank you for coming.
Your pleasure.
Viewer, just stay there. When we come back, we'll continue with another conversation. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, we are going to a conversation. In church these days, the ministry of praise and worship has been elevated. Now we have gospel singers who, are making wave. Some of them are making money for themselves. Some of them are impacting the church, And we are beginning to have people who are taking it as ministry to say, I am called to just worship God. I'm called to just praise God. And so we have in the studio a young man who is in that mode, talking about, his real name is actually Ogeonwoyi Prince Efe, but he prefers to be called Prince Positive.
Yeah.
Prince Positive, you're welcome to our studio.
Thank you, sir.
Prince Positive is the convener, Urban Gospel Rave. Now, let's start this way. Urban Gospel Rave. Okay. What is it all about? What was the inspiration?
Okay, Urban Gospel Rave is an event for the youths, for people, the young adults, and anybody that loves God, Jesus lovers, that wants to have another experience in a community where they can just express themselves freely. Many persons now, they come to church, while some don't even want to hear the word church. So Urban Gospel Rave is like a bridge that can connect both those that loves to come to church to praise God and those that doesn't love to come to church to praise God. So it's not a setting where we have only Christians coming to thank God or praise God. It's a setting where both Christians, non-Christians, so whoever you are, as long as you are a living being. The Bible said that let everything that has breath praise God.
Okay.
So
the Urban Gospel Rave, and you say what is the gospel intent? If you just throw it open, everybody can come. Yes.
Okay.
Do you have intent to preach the gospel with your praise in the process?
Yes. As long as it's the gospel is for everybody. The gospel is for every human being on the earth to believe in Jesus and get saved. So when people come, of course, they get transformed.
By your singing?
Yes, by every message that comes from the songs we sing. Because I tell people, or I heard from a renowned preacher, he says that to know how great a nation is, check the songs in their mouth. All right? So the greatness of a nation is widely dependent on the songs in people's mouths, in the citizens' mouths in that nation. And we are bringing the gospel entertainment in such a way that people start singing gospel songs in a way that it becomes a daily habit, not just a Sunday to Sunday thing.
And the national identity.
Okay, let's look at Prince Positive.
Yes. Yeah.
How long have you been singing?
Okay, officially I've been singing since 2019.
Okay, so what inspired you?
What inspired me was I went to a concert then organized by TTC Mass Choir. It wasn't in it wasn't in a choir in a church. They were like a different body on their own, and the way they organized it was not the normal setting. So I loved it, and I just like that inspiration came up. All right, so I had to even join the mass choir and started learning how to sing, how to play instruments. Most of them today, most of us in that mass choir today are actually doing very well. One of them is Mercy Chiwo's drummer, Oyinka, was from that mass choir. All right, and so I started writing my own songs. I released my first official single 2019. Yeah, Kabi AC, and that song before I left Benin to Detta. That song was making wave in Unigen. And if I CGMI as a whole, my CGMI Church Plus in Benin loves that song. My pastors, the members, my brothers, my sisters. And now we are taking it global. And since that now, I've done other singles. In fact, I released an EP on Urban Gospel Rave.
Okay, I wanted to ask, like, is praise just singing song, or it goes beyond music, like just singing? And you said the message that comes with it. You said something like that. So, can you really tell us what's message like? The kind of message that comes with praise, because to me sometimes I feel it's just singing songs. Since you said both for the Christians and non-Christian,
Those who go
yeah.
to church
So
and those who
those
don't
who
go
go
to
to church
church.
and
There's
those
a
who
way he
don't
said
go
it.
to church, right? Is
Yes,
that what you
yes,
said?
yes.
So what is that message that comes with praise? And also, is praise different from worship? What are the difference between praise and worship?
Okay, I'll start by um, the message that goes with a song. It depends on the lyrics of the song.
Okay.
All right. So, what is the song saying? For example, when we sing in a song, I will praise you, or I want to praise you. That is not you praising God. That is you telling God you want to praise Him.
You have not started yet.
You have not started yet. All right. So instead of I will praise you, O Lord, we become more intentional. All right. To say I praise you, oh God, or I am praising you right now, oh God, for all you have done. All right. Then that is just one scenario.
Okay.
Then that scenario is, this popular song by our brother and great minister, Gaze Baba.
Okay.
I can never turn back. Oh, no,
Okay.
no. Right. I tell people that song has led many persons to Christ than any preaching can do. You understand? Because some persons, even because of how the song was made and crafted and created, many persons sings the song, even unbelievers, and they are not turning back. All right, and before you know it, they already announced Jesus Christ as their Lord and personal Savior through the song.
What they are singing.
Yeah, through what they are singing. So that is the message that goes. There's a story of two nations fighting years ago, and an artist sang a song without preaching, just sang a song, and channeled it to those two nations, and the two nations came to peace without any conference or meeting. So the message in a song depends on what the song is saying, the lyrics of that song.
Now, Prince Positive.
The lyrics of the song.
Let's come to serious business.
Yes, sir.
Now, singing the praise of God is a very potent instrument in worship. God even commanded that we should praise Him. Sometimes your prayer is not as potent as your praise. The Bible says that God inhabits the praises of His people. But one thing we find in church, because when you were talking, I was very careful not to judge.
Yeah.
You said you sing for those who love to come to church and those who don't love to come to church. And I had to situate it to, we are looking, let them come, then we preach to them.
Yes.
But now, we find that in church, many people who are involved in the ministry of praise and worship, they are not serious people with God. What could be responsible for this? Or how do you speak to what I've said? That most people who, take up this ministry of praise and worship, they are not serious with God. They are not deep in the scriptures. They are not spiritual.
That is where identity crisis comes in, and that is what urban gospel is. One of the things urban gospel is trying to fix.
Okay.
Because in the Bible, we were all called psalmists, priests, Levites. All right. I tell people there is not actually different thing between what a preacher is doing
and what the singer is doing.
A gospel minister is doing, because they were both Levites in the Bible, in the Old Testament. So as Levites, you choose to either be a psalmist or you choose to be
a priest.
They are both priests.
Okay.
Both duties are priestly duties.
Or a preacher.
Or a preacher, or those that read the Torah, the law from the scrolls. So as a psalmist, you know as much as the one that reads or preaches to the people. You know as much as that one knows.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things urban gospel is trying to come and eradicate is that intentionality of the gospel. That's the reason why we are not changing the brand, because we are trying to bring people from darkness to light. We're not calling it urban rave. No, we are calling it urban gospel rave.
Okay.
So we want even both you that's an unbeliever to know that this is for the gospel.
Yeah.
All right. But we package it in a way that it's appealing to you. It pulls you. Yes, it pulls you to come that, I love this event. Even if I'm not a Christian, let me go and see what it can look like. You understand? So in that setting, you get inspired. The light of God shines on you, and you get saved. Because it's not our own to get you saved, but it's our own to bring the gospel to you. You understand? So we're not deceiving anybody. is with the way we organize the events. We organize in the way that's why that's the reason why we are using every media platform to announce it, so that anybody can see it. A business person can see it, a pagan can see it, a Buddhist can see it, and like, oh, what is this? Let me check it out. In their midst of checking it out, they get to hear the gospel.
We'll come to the issue of your program,
Okay.
but this is my concern. You
Okay.
have not addressed it. I'm sure you grew up in a church.
Yes.
And then, did you notice what I just said? That
Of
most
course.
of the people in the choir,
Yes.
most of the people who are choir masters,
Yes.
they tend to do what we call joyful noise most of the time. They do music and it's like yeah. Then at the end of the day, the person does not have them, because if you're singing scriptures, I give it to people like Buchi. I'm not publicizing him,
Yeah.
but when Buchi is singing, 90% of his lyrics are verses of the scripture,
Yes.
and the way he pushes them out, he underlines them. He underscores the potency of those scriptures. Now, we have few of them. There are many people who are into this business and they are not serious. That's what I'm saying.
And
Did
why
you
is it
notice
so?
it while growing up?
Yes, of course.
Of course, you are telling me how people are trying to circumvent it by your program, but
Yes.
did you notice it?
Yes, of course. I know a lot of amazing people that are in this category. All right, and during my course of growing up, I choose you choose the league of people you are to
That's right.
follow. So I follow the ones that I know that they have depth of scriptures. In fact, the songs I listen to must have depth of scriptures, must have the gospel in it. All right. So Bushi is a good one for that. Don't see no you hear their songs, you know that this was inspired
By the
scripture. I wrote a song, my first song, Kabi Esi, now you are the sea. Your blood don't wash my sin. You don't take me in. You have been accepted into the beloved, Ephesians 1. So it must be scripture based.
That's right.
So what we are bringing out now is that we are gospel artists have to have what we call identity.
That's
They have to know that they are as much a preacher. Even if they are not called pastors,
They are
they are even better preachers than
their role is more potent than that of the preacher.
that of a preacher, because even if before any in the church setting, before a pastor even comes up to preach, the singers have preached the message already through their songs. You understand? So one of the things that we can use to correct that is image identity. We have to bring back what a priest or what a psalmist or what a gospel musician should look like. And for this, it has been a campaign ongoing from us, from those in my field, that anybody will see, we try to tell them that this is the gospel. This is who you are made for. This is what you are called for. Represent it. Not just by the words you sing, the songs you sing, but by your lifestyle. By your lifestyle. So the lifestyle should be should align with what you are singing.
Okay, so you've still not answered my previous question, that what is the difference between praise and worship? And now, should someone be spiritually matured first in mind and in spirit before becoming a minister of the gospel minister, or what do you?
Okay, I'll tell you both questions together. There's no difference between praise and worship. Worship is the devotion, is a general word. So in worship, we have praise, we have adoration, we have thanksgiving. Okay, we have gratitude. We have every other thing embedded in worship. Even prayer is a worship. You understand? So when I say praise and worship songs, I get confused. I get to like, what are you people doing?
Okay.
You understand? Because there's something like praise and worship songs. We are all worshipers.
Worshiping by our singing.
Yes, we are all worshipers. So whether your song is a fast track song or a slow track song, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make you a praise. So this one say I'm a praise minister. The other say I'm a worship minister. We are all worship ministers.
Now in church, even though what you are saying is the exact situation,
yes,
we notice that when you are singing such that we can dance along, sing along with you, we say that's praise.
Yes.
Then when we say worship, then we must be sober. Yes. It doesn't make complete sense, but it actually suits our worship pattern. That at a point, this is time to just celebrate God. You know, somebody is singing, the way the music is playing, it shows, oh yeah, dance. So then there's a place they get to, both the instrumentalist and the singer coordinate to put us in a mood to focus on God. That is the distinction that she was trying to
Yes,
establish.
it's what we have been able to define it to.
Yes.
But in the actual sense,
Yeah.
that you're dancing, that you're shouting, oh glory.
Yeah.
That's
it's all worship.
It's all worship.
Yeah.
There's no difference.
Okay.
So the next question, should someone has to be spiritually matured first before becoming a gospel minister?
Yes, you have to get to that point, because you cannot now, if it's on your personal worship to God, you don't have to. Like I said, even an unbeliever can praise God.
Yeah.
Bible says, let everything that has breath. It didn't say let every believer or somebody who is deep or is every. In fact, the trees in Psalms, the Bible said the trees sings to God.
Okay.
You understand? So when Christ was speaking to that tree, he said, "Give me fruit," and the tree said, "It's not in its season." He said, "No man shall eat from you again." Do you get? So as long as you are a living being, you should praise God. But before you can lead others, because now that is our own duty as a priest or as a psalmist or as a gospel, as a music minister, is to bring people into that moments where worship becomes easy for them.
Okay.
You understand? Because on your own, you might be singing, but you're not, because it's not your office. You may not be able to really create that. Carry people along. Create.
Musically talented. Is
Yes.
it not enough?
It's not enough.
Okay.
That is between gospel and any other thing.
So what you're trying
is
to
there.
say is it has to come from somewhere deep.
Yes,
that
yes.
is well informed.
Yes.
Based on your study and understanding.
Knowledge,
of God's
understanding, and then your heart.
Your
How close you are to God. Also, because you cannot bring people into what you have not experienced.
Okay, let's talk about the urban gospel rave. You are the convener. So tell us what to expect during the event and when is it coming up?
Okay, for Urban Gospel Rave, it's coming up on October 23rd, 2026, this year at St. Patrick's College. And the expectations are very significant. It's very significant. We are expecting to have praise worship from ministers that we know that they are grounded. As a matter of fact, I call it a Saba gathering. So the ministers that are going to be climbing on stage, we already know them. We are all part of the team, including myself. So we are the ones planning for it. So I'm sure that every song, every word that's going to come forth from anybody's mouth there is well grounded and well understood. Then we now have other set attractions. We are where we can talk about biblical games, all right? Have DJs playing gospel songs in a way that you have not seen it before. That's the reason why it's Urban Gospel Rave. All right, we have hype men hyping Jesus to people.
Oh, really?
Yes, we have hype men hyping Jesus to people. We have colors, we have red carpet, fashion runway. So we have culture. So we're going to be using our different culture to praise God.
This means it's loaded.
Yes, loaded, the colors, the lights, the stage, starting from even the designs.
Now
let's
come
we are
to
saying the Synonym experience.
Yes, Cinnamon Experience is the brand that is putting up Urban Gospel Rave, and we are open to partnership with any other brand that will want to join us.
Now, let me come from this angle. What you're doing, you call it 3.0. That means we have 1.0, 2.0. So this is third edition.
This is third edition.
Now, tell us your experience from the first edition that inspired you to the second edition, and now the third edition. What has been your experience from the outset?
Okay, for the very first edition, when I first heard from God to come to Asaba to host the Cinnamon Experience. So as I was discussing it, when God sends you, He will give you the right people.
That's right.
So when I came to Asaba, the very first person I met was a brother that just converted from a secular artist to a gospel artist. And he had a burden to at least do something, all right, that people will know that, okay, it's not a gospel artist. And so I met with him. You understand? So we partnered together. As we were doing that, a company, an ambassador of a company said she wanted to do a program, all right, for she and her team and the whole company in Asaba. And they said they were going to partner with us. So that was how we partnered, and we did 1.0 successfully.
In Asaba, still
yes,
in Asaba?
Yeah.
Okay, where did it hold?
Orona Hall, Sweet Spirit.
Okay.
Sweet Spirit Hotel, Orona Hall. So it was an indoor gathering, and we had that experience. And then season 2, we had to take it out.
Okay.
We eated the streets on season 2 at Uzigwe Primary School. All right. So because of the experience season 2, we couldn't. This was the short one. So because we couldn't hold the crowd. Uzigwe could not hold the crowd of season 2. So now I said, okay, let's take it to SPC.
SPC and Uzigwe, which one has more space?
SPC is way bigger.
Okay, because of football
Yeah,
field.
it's way bigger. So at least now people tend to park inside. So people tend to park inside the field.
We think from time to time, since your time is still up, maybe as we are partnering with you, we'll have you again. But then, what kind of gospel artists are we expecting on the occasion? Or you have not decided?
Of course, we have decided.
Okay, so tell us.
For the
Apart
gospel,
from yourself.
For the gospel, we don't do that. I want to call myself first. I want to call myself first. That the only gospel artist you can see right now is me.
Yeah.
All right, but on our pages on social media, we have a question there. What gospel artist do you want in this year's Urban Gospel Rave?
Okay.
So let people go there and suggest their artist. But we are already. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet. All right. So if you want to, you can meet me first in. We'll show you.
So finally, what are we going to expect? Are you inviting us?
Oh, I'm inviting everybody. This event is for everyone. All right. It's for everyone. Like I said, there's no we're not. It's not a particular tribe of people. It's for everybody. Are you any denomination you are, any church you are, any religion you believe in? Urban Gospel Rave is for you. Let's come and see what gospel entertainment can feel like, can be like, and that is what we have been. We actually bring excellence into what we do. So even in the music, there is excellence, and at the center of it all is God.
Now, maybe before we let you go, you left Edo State to Delta State.
Yes.
1, what was your reason? And 2, how have you been enjoying in Delta? Okay. I hope you have been welcomed.
Yes. I will actually commend Delta State. When I was in Edo, I was hearing that Delta State and Edo State is actually the same in terms of.
Delta State.
Yes, they're actually the same. And when I came to Delta, I felt it. I felt the love. For anybody I tell that I'm from Edo and it's a Delta person, they actually give me that hand of friendship, for fellowship and all. So I will actually say that Delta State is a very good state. Delta State is a very good state. And why I left Edo State to Asaba was the direction of God. Yes, God said, because Asaba is a place that likes paparazzi.
No, we got vibes.
we like vibes. Yes. And my acronym that people call me is vibes on vibes.
Vibes on vibes.
Vibes on vibes. So they're like, okay, should I do this in Benin? And God said the best place to do it is Asaba.
You're welcome.
So we have
You're
been
welcome
doing
to
that
Asaba, and then keep doing it.
And CGMI. CGMI. I was the MD of CGMI Church Plus, and currently I'm at CGMI Church at Glow. Asaba.
All right. Thank you for coming.
Thank you,
viewer. That has been our conversation with a young man who has given himself to the worship of God. He's a gospel artist, and of course, he's mounting programs to preach the gospel to everybody via the instrumentality of music. And he says, come the 23rd of October. They are mounting the 3rd edition of Urban Gospel Rave. We hope you'll be there. Thank you for coming. Viewer, just stand by. We'll come back with another conversation. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Dott Entertainment, your weekly dose of pure fun, airing every Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Only on Dott TV.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, we are very happy that you are with us this morning. We are moving to the soft angle because Kira Eke is already in the studio with Entertainment Gist. Kira, how are you?
I'm all right.
You guys have plans with Black today.
I don't know. I think it's a Monday thing.
Black. Okay, Monday.
It's a Monday thing.
It's a Monday
It's
color
always
anyway.
the Monday color. I don't know what's up.
Ezioku.
Yes, black is Monday color.
I'm
for
going to
office.
learn next Monday. I'm wearing red all through.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. So, was it with us on
Oh,
Entertainment?
yes. You know, every weekend we get to see our celebrities do things, say things. Sometimes they're not supposed to. Sometimes they were supposed to do way before they did it. You know, and I'm going to start today's story with Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt. We all know the guy. Grew up watching him, a fan. So Bolt has proposed to his longtime girlfriend, Cassie Bennett, after 13 years of courtship. He revealed that he had to pop the question because he had promised Bennett marriage for years. Bolt proposed during his 40th birthday party, and this is after the couple have shared 3 children, including daughter Olympia and their twin sons, Thunder and Saint Leo. Now, my question is this: could the sprinter have this underlying narcissistic tendencies? Because why does he have to be on his birthday? And this is also given the fact that the girl's birthday was just 7 weeks ago. That was July. But then he tends to do it now. But we'll get to that in a moment. Moving on to another engagement, beauty influencer and actress Diana Eneje has announced her engagement to Lagos businessman Pascal Godwin after years of keeping their relationship away from the public. Eneje announced the news on her Instagram page using the caption, "My Forever." She also shared photos from the celebration, including a close-up of her engagement ring alongside her fiancé. Her fiancé has been identified as Pascal Godwin, a Lagos-based rich businessman whom she has been linked to for months, despite never confirming the relationship publicly. Eneje has previously been the subject of dating rumors involving Afrobeat singer Rema, speculations that neither party ever confirmed. Unlike much of her content, which centers on fashion, beauty, and lifestyle, her relationships have rarely featured on her page directly. Now to the sad news I'm very sure some of us must have heard. This one is another loss for Nollywood.
Yeah.
Yes. Some weeks ago, we lost an actress, Tobe, but now again, it's a different person altogether because a veteran Nollywood actor, Taiwo Hassan, popularly known as Ogogo, has died. The actor's daughter, Kira Taiwo, announced his death on Sunday evening during a live session on her Instagram page. The development comes days after Kira disclosed that her father was battling stage 4 cancer. Taiwo Hassan was a prominent figure in the Nigerian film industry, particularly known for his roles in Yoruba language movies and his contributions to the growth of Nollywood. And last on my bulletin today is Mr. Adeleke, the musician. An aide to Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo has declared that a Nigerian singer Davido will not be allowed to perform in the state for the remainder of the governor's tenure amid an escalating public dispute between the singer and the governor. Apostle Kasi Chukwu, senior special assistant to the digital media to Okpebolo, made the declaration in a video shared on YouTube by Pinil TV International Benin City. This is a station that the governor also is, he's aware of it. Chukwu accused Davido of making disrespectful comments about the governor and his family and warned that the singer could face resistance from residents if he attempted to return to the state, including at the airport. The dispute traces back to the build-up to the August 15 Osun State governorship election, in which Obebelo publicly criticized Osun Governor Ademola Adeleke, Davido's uncle, over his conduct and his dancing. Davido responded by sharing what appeared to be a copy of Obebelo's WAEC result on his Instagram story, a post he later defended in an interview, saying he had no reason to apologize for it. Davido argued that he had simply shown residents the academic record of a governor who had traveled to their states to campaign against his uncle. He also criticized him for leaving Edo State to participate in another state's election and publicly questioned the legitimacy of his mandate as governor. In his response, Chukwu also pushed back on the authenticity of the shared document, describing it as allegedly manipulated, and cautioned Davido against making similar posts targeting the governor going forward. The video of Chukwu's comments has since circulated widely online, adding fresh attention to the ongoing back and forth between the singer and the Edo State government, with no indication yet that either sides intend to de-escalate the disputes. That's all for entertainment.
Well,
Very interesting.
package you have.
Yes,
that's why I say you are the soft side. Or
Is
your
it?
program is the soft side.
The segment.
Your segment is the
Yes,
soft
yes,
side.
yes.
Now let me come to Usain Bolt.
Let's start from the beginning.
Yes. Proposing to a woman you have been with for 13 years, you have had 3 children with. What is the proposition there?
And also, he said that he had to do it because he had promised her marriage.
That's what I'm
He
saying.
literally said it in the video.
Meaning it's not actually coming from somewhere deep
Some
inside.
of these
He's
people,
just doing it to
like
fulfill.
you were accusing him, because sometimes when ladies come with this basketballs against a man being a narcissist, now you claim that you want to make her happy, because that's what
Yes,
it does
like
to
he's
women.
actually doing
When you
her a
propose their
favor.
marriage, it's like you just want to treat them fine. Now, you scaled by the woman's birthday and wanted to do it on your own birthday.
And the annoying part is that
his own birthday.
what is annoying to me is that this woman's birthday was just July 7th.
Yes.
Just last month.
Yes.
And you did. I mean, what's the window length?
I think it's
period?
selfish.
Yeah, I feel like, and she didn't even expect
He's
it.
a
I
narcissist.
feel like it could be some of the tendencies of a narcissistic person.
Yes,
Okay.
Because you wanted to make it about yourself.
Yes.
Okay, how about we move away from narcissistic tendencies? How about, have you guys considered what if, because he's a celebrity, he wants the spotlight back on him? Remember, he's retired now.
He already has a
No.
spotlight. He's
No.
he
No.
constantly.
He needs to be
I
ignited.
wouldn't agree
No,
with you
it's
on that.
selfish.
You know
That's
why?
the point.
You know
He's
why?
being
He's already a
selfish.
celebrity.
For
At
how
any
many
point in
years?
time he chooses to do
Do
it,
it, you still get the
is
traffic.
his show.
Is this?
But well, let's end it there. Thank you for coming.
No, let's talk about
no.
Davido's own.
That is where we end it on Davido and all that. It's okay. It's bad news for them. Viewer, when we come back, we shift to other conversation. Wake up with us every morning.
We bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Good morning and welcome to Today in History on Dott TV, where we throw back to important events and personalities connected to this day in previous years. August 24th has witnessed notable moments that shaped Nigeria's political, cultural, sporting, security, and international history. On this day in 1937, businessman, philanthropist, and politician MKO Abiola was born in Abeokuta, Ogun State. He later became the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, in the annulled June 12, 1993 election. On this day in 1956, Muhammadu Saudu Abubakar III, the Sultan of Sokoto, was born. He later became the 20th Sultan of Sokoto in 2006. Also in 1963, legendary Nigerian goalkeeper Peter Rufai was born in Lagos. He represented Nigeria at the 1994 and 1998 FIFA World Cups and helped the Super Eagles win the 1994 African Cup of Nations AFCON. In 1967, politician Nyesom Ezenwo-Wike was born in Rivers State. He later served as governor of Rivers State from 2015 to 2023 and is currently the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Also in 1994, the military government of General Sani Abacha promulgated controversial decrees that placed its actions beyond legal challenge in the court during the political crisis following the annulment of the June 12, 1993 election. On the international scene, August 24th, 1949 marked the entry into force of the North Atlantic Treaty, establishing NATO's collective defense alliance. Also on this day in 1991, Ukraine declared independence from the Soviet Union, a major event in the collapse of the Soviet Union. And in 2006, the International Astronomical Union reclassified Pluto as a dwarf planet, ending its official status as one of the solar system's 9 planets. Interestingly, August 24th connects generations of Nigerian history and significant turning point in world history. Those are some of the moments and personalities that made August 24th significant in Nigerian and world history. I am Peace Nwokburu. Thanks for watching.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. And with that montage, you already know we mean business because Luisa, our CD, is already in the studio with her business script. Luisa, how are you today?
I'm very fine.
And how was your weekend?
It was stressful, but still beautiful.
What was stressing you?
So many things.
You needed to rest because work has come again. Please, please, please. My advice is whenever you go for weekend, try to relax your mind, your brain, because on Monday morning, business has started again.
Lisa, how are you doing?
I'm good.
But you look radiant,
Louisa. Oh, thank you for that.
So what do you have for us?
Well, I have a lot, but first of all, let's start with something to look at the next time you shop.
They will be back very soon.
Move it.
Yes, so
Nigeria's consumer watchdog, the FCCPC, has told manufacturers and shops.
Continue.